Let's talk about muscle restoration recovery techniques. Today specifically, the subject that we call rolling. Often we'll abbreviate this foam rolling, but I want to talk about tools for a minute. We'll use a softball, a tennis ball, a lacrosse ball. There's a number of different, and the important part of these differences is slightly different density or hardness and different size. So this softball is hard and it's fairly large, so when you're pushing on it with some part of your muscle, you'll have a reasonably large contact patch, where the lacrosse ball is smaller and gets deeper into your muscle tissue. Sometimes that's useful. Heck, we even have a solid steel ball. It's basically a cannonball. It has the added advantage of being cold. Sometimes for certain parts of the body, this is actually the best tool to get in there. Set that out of the way. And a common, very useful little tool, take a couple of lacrosse balls and shove them into an old sock. There's a few wire ties here to wrap this up. You can buy things online that approximate or duplicate this, but it doesn't have to be fancy. It's not so much about the tool as what we're going to do with it. So rolling in general, think of giving yourself a massage. The point of this is to muscle tissue and fascia, not so much tendons and ligaments, but muscle tissue and fascia, all this stuff here, quads, hamstrings, glutes, big areas of muscle. We want to focus on these areas, and essentially what you're doing is kneading out the lumps. And that's kind of a crude description of this, but you will be surprised when you start rolling, if you haven't done this before, at just exactly how lumpy your muscle feels. Lumpy and painful, and to be honest, it's just miserable when you start. So we smile and joke about this. Here's what happens though. If you develop a little bit of consistency, you roll in the ways that I'm about to show you, and you will improve your muscle tissue quality a lot, and which does a couple of things. It helps you recover after workouts. It helps you prepare yourself before a workout. So there's kind of a fast technique we'll do, a quick and dirty roll it out technique that is a good way to start before a workout, part of a warm-up, call it. And then there's a slower, more in-depth where you really work on your tough spots and lumps after a workout, or even better at home in the evening when you're sitting around. Spend some time on this. So two different rates of speed there. And how do you know when you're done? When your tissue feels better. So we're going to start on the glutes. What I'm going to do is show you different areas of the body, the kind of the major areas, the most high return areas for you to work on. First place I like to start, just any day you don't know what to work on, start here. I'm going to turn my body so that I'm putting pressure right in the middle of my cheek here, and as much as I can then I want to load my weight onto that spot. You can use your hands and feet for additional support if you need, but now I'm going to just roll that contact point both up and down the muscle, all the way up to the top, in this case to the crest of my pelvis, down to my sit bone, up and down, and also work across your muscle fibers. If you pull your knee, pull your hip into some external rotation like this, you'll find it's a little more intense in the glute. But I'm going to work this out. Again, there's a fast technique where what I'm showing you now, just work this out. The easy lumps and bumps will go away here. Often though, you'll find there's a spot, somewhere in your muscle, there's one spot that makes you just cry out, ouch, this stuff hurts. Ideally, you have time to slow down, put some pressure on that spot, and just hang out here. Maybe some really gentle motion like I'm showing now, just easy rocking. We're not trying to force your muscle tissue into anything. We're not trying to force any lumps out. It's the opposite. This direct pressure on your trouble spots will induce some relaxing. You'll actually feel the hard spot relax. How long does this take? It depends. I don't know. It might be a few minutes. It might be a number of sessions of working on it. It might be 20 minutes. It might be longer. It might take you several weeks of working on an area to finally get that relaxing. But you'll know when it happens. It feels good. All right, moving on from the glute. Turn, and we're going to work down the side of the quad here. Reposition. You should be able to move up and down the sides of your thigh. I'm rolling so that I'm hitting more toward the back side of my leg, and right down the middle, right up and down the middle, and then a little more toward the front side. With this basic direction here, I'm working parallel or in line with the muscle fibers. Again, you also want to work across your muscle fibers. Move down a little bit, roll across these muscle fibers. This is more intense. If this is really painful, don't start here. Don't start with across, start with parallel. And you can move on then to across. Up and down. This is called the IT band, and this is a major trouble source for a lot of people, especially if you've done a lot of running in the past. And rolling this out generally it feels awful the first time you do it. Honestly, this feels terrible. Not to me now. I'm used to it, and my muscle quality has improved, and you should be able to roll with your full body weights. Just slide up and down your muscles, and you feel your muscles kind of smoothly squish out of the way, and it doesn't hurt. Shouldn't hurt at all. All right, another important area to hit is the front of your leg here, the quads. I'm going to start by putting this contact point right in the middle of my muscle and sliding up and down. Again, I'm trying to put a fair amount of weight on this. I want to put ideally my whole body weight on. Working from the outside of your leg across the middle, and here you can open your hip up and get pressure on the muscles on the inside of your thigh. We will also use these techniques to both massage out the muscles in our back and between the shoulder blades and up and down the spine. We'll also use this to get the spine flexible a little bit. So first the muscles. I'm going to squeeze my elbows a little together. I'm spreading my shoulder blades, and now I can lift my hips up and just work up and down, not right up and down the middle, but one side of your spine, other side of your spine. You can work as far down towards your waist as possible and way up onto your shoulders and get quite a bit of muscle here. Pull this elbow out of the way to expose more muscle on your back and hit this from different angles. You can work a lot of the muscle in your back this way. We will also use the roller as a contact point to flex the spine. This is just a general warming up the spine, get the spine moving, get the kinks out. Typically do this after you've done a little bit of warming up. Just some gentle flexing and extending of your spine, especially up in the region around your shoulders to get your thoracic spine a little bit more flexible. Most of us are too stiff here. So another area that causes lots of problems is right in here, your lats. All this tissue along the side. You can put pressure on this. Move your arm into different positions. Rotate the shoulder. Roll your body in different angles. Take your time to dig into this various parts of your body here. And again, you can do it fast or slow. Calves are another area that needs some work. Calves are another area that needs some work. Put pressure here. If you need more pressure. Favorite tool for getting into the calf? Softball. Put that right in your muscle. you'll find problems if they're in there. Rolling is a set of methods that you use to find problem areas in your muscles, areas that don't slide, that aren't smooth. Use one tool or another, find these parts of your body, and work the problems out. It's a good idea to develop a kit, a bunch of different little various size and shape and densities of balls. Foam rollers, you can spend money on fancy stuff or you can put it together yourself, doesn't matter. But spend some time figuring out how to get to various parts of your body, various different muscle areas, and work those problems out.